Welcome to a bonus episode of Idle Talk this week. Something interesting just happened in the NFL, and I said before that I wasn't gonna cover NFL stuff or sports stuff in general because that's not the direction I wanted to take the podcast. But this is a little bit different. So let's start spilling the tea today. February 1st at 4:16 p.m. Really, Adam Schefter, you couldn't wait 4 more minutes? But it broke that former Miami head coach Brian Flores is suing the NFL, the Giants, and the Dolphins, and the Broncos for alleged racism in hiring. And he includes texts from Patriots head coach Bill Belichick in the suit as evidence, lawsuit filed in Manhattan federal court, seeking unspecified damages from the NFL. The lawsuit was put in place today, saying that the NFL is racist. I just saw a tweet, and it said that Brian Flores may have Kaepernicked himself. And what that means is that Colin Kaepernick sued the NFL, and he won, and he was paid an undisclosed amount of money. So he still doesn't have a job in the NFL, right? And it's been too long. It's been like 5 years, 6 years. So, and that we're kind of getting to the age range where you're like, dude, you haven't played for like 4, 5, 6 years. No one's gonna hire you, and within reason, because of the quarterbacks that come in the draft every year, and the people that become available. So now it's like, hey, we already gave you your money. Don't expect a job. Don't expect a job ever again. So that's what we got with Colin Kaepernick, and I think we might head in that same direction with Brian Flores. He might have to get a good payday, and then he'll never ever work in NFL again. He puts out a thread. Let me zoom in. He's texting prestigious coach Bill Belichick. So it says, Bill Belichick texts him, says, "Sounds like you've landed. Congrats. Did you hear something I didn't hear?" And he said, "Giants? Question mark, exclamation point." He's like, "I interview on Thursday. I think I have a shot at it." And Bill Belichick replies, "Got it. I hear from Buffalo and NYG that you are their guy. Hope it works out if you want it." And Brian Flores responds with, "That's definitely what I want. I hope you're right, coach. Thank you." And then a few minutes pass. He's like, "Coach, are you talking to Brian Flores or Brian DeBolt? Just making sure." And then looks like a day passes, and Bill Belichick replies, he says, "Sorry, I fucked this up. I double checked and misread the text. I think they're naming DeBolt. Sorry to hear about that, BB." And he says, "Thanks, Bill." The craziest part is that Bill Belichick still signs off text messages. He's like, BB. So after that information pops up, right, it says that on Wednesday, January 26th, Mr. Flores was forced to sit through a dinner with Joe, what's-his-face, the Giants' new general manager. Knowing that the Giants had already selected the other guy, much worse, on Thursday, he had to give an extensive interview for a job that he already knew he would not get, an interview that was held for no reason other than for the Giants to demonstrate falsely to the league commissioner Roger Goodell and the public at large that it was in compliance with the Rooney Rule. It says the Giants would have gotten away with the most insidious form of discrimination if New England's Patriots coach Bill Belichick had not mistakenly disclosed to Flores in the below text. So this is my take on this situation. I was talking to Malik the other day. I was like, "Oh, why did we hire this guy?" Right? And then I was like, "This guy from Buffalo." He's like, "What do you mean? Buffalo's a good team, I'm like, "Yeah, especially he was offensive coordinator responsible for Josh Allen and his growth and development over there in Buffalo." But before this even broke out, I was like, "Nah, Giants are racist." I'm like, they would never want a black guy to coach their team, right? Not to say that we missed the ball in Dwayne Haskins, but he was a New Jersey kid. He would have loved to be in New York, trying to help the Giants win. But we won Daniel Jones. Why? Because he played at Duke. Okay, he had some involvement with the Mannings or whatever. But and we're like, whatever, that's fine. Clearly Dwayne Haskins didn't pan out to be like a good quarterback, and he had his stints with the teams that he did for a short period of time. But it just goes to show that we're picking Daniel Jones or Dwayne Haskins. Both of them have been unproven. Both of them, I would say, aren't really that good. Since Daniel Jones is a starter out of the third two teams, I'll put him mid. He's very mid. Why didn't we draft Dwayne Haskins, right? Is it more than, might not have panned out to be a successful quarterback, or does race get involved, right? It's hard to say, and it's hard to, as the outside looking in, to kind of give the benefit of the doubt, especially when majority of the league's owners are white. Like, it's hard to understand that. A little information that's been popping up is that the Giants did interview 2 other African American coaches, and it wasn't just a like Rooney Rule thing that they had to check off. They're like, nah, that's it, check the box next. The lawsuit makes a great point, as in like, why conduct the dummy interview? I'm pretty sure if Flores was given a call like, hey, we're gonna move on, we found the right guy, we don't want to waste your time. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for giving us your time and your patience, but we're gonna pick someone else. So Flores names the Denver Broncos as also conducting their own sham interview. It says then General Manager John Elway, President and Chief Executive Officer Mr. Elias, and others showed up to the interview an hour late. It was obvious they had been drinking heavily the night before. Again, this problem could have easily been solved as we have our guy. Well, we're not interested anymore. Sorry for wasting your time. And then I guess even at that moment, there would be a story, right? They'd be like, okay, yeah, 2 teams canceling me. It's hard not to take it any other way, because that's how we have to look at the deeper meaning behind things, even though some things aren't even that deep. Yeah, I mean, this is something the NFL needs. I feel like this is a conversation that needs to be had. It's similar to when the Los Angeles Clippers former owner described like his players in a derogatory term, like basically calling them his property and shit like that. And that conversation got aired out and leaked. But I think the New York office, the NFL office, needs to evaluate and see, is there systematic racism in the NFL? The answer is obviously yes, right? I mean, we could, let's see how they dealt with the Black Lives Matter movement, the kneeling on the American flag thing. A lot of people kind of still don't have that taste out of their mouth. They're like, nah, I can't handle the NFL. And frankly, that's why I don't really watch anymore. It's shit like the Rams and the Bengals making the playoffs that you would never think would happen. You would never think that guys like Matt Stafford would be in a Super Bowl the first year after he leaves Detroit. A guy like Joe Burrow, second year in the league, really young, has a Heisman, possibly could win Super Bowl. Like, those, as a former player of the sport, those stories feel good. They're like, oh shit, let's go. Like, I can't believe you did that. It's what the shield stands for, right? They'll say that all the time. The shield represents X, Y, and Z, but I think the shield represents uncertainty in, are people really going to be represented properly in this organization? In the lawsuit, Flores and the lawyer team or whatever, they bring upon a full section about John Gruden. And we remember what happened with him. He was released, after his racist emails and things about. But and how things came upon. I'm sorry. But here's the little section that they say. It says, when the news of Mr. Gruden's racist emails finally surfaced, rather than an unequivocal rebuke and a for-cause termination, the Raiders allowed him to graciously resign and claim that it was due to his desire to not be a distraction, right? And I understand that sentiment, right? It's like, all right, just resign, dude, please. They'll make us fire you, right? It's giving him the honor to quit and not be shamefully fired. And he brings up a great point that it would have been a for-cause termination, but why wasn't it? So to conclude this short episode, I can't wait to see what unfolds. I can't wait to see what the consequences for this is going to be. I can't wait to see what the sum amount of money that is going to be speculated that the NFL is going to pay, because discovery in a court case is the best, because you get to see what really happens behind those closed doors and what happens behind those behind the scenes moments of your average NFL day. So, Brian Flores, my best of luck to you. If I had it my way, you would be coaching the Giants and not whoever this fucking Big Show looking ass guy is gonna do. Again, I have no faith in the Giants simply because of ownership, and I think a lot of problems, when it comes to how any team represents themselves in the public eye with the on the field and off the field product. I think it stems from the top, and I think that we're gonna be chopping off some heads soon. Symbolically. I think they're gonna pull what they did with the Clippers owner and just force him to sell. And I think maybe we get one or two of those in the upcoming months before the season. I think the lawsuit's going to be way settled before the season starts. I think it's in the best interest of the NFL to settle that lawsuit soon rather than later. But thank you guys for listening to this special, kind of nerdy little bonus episode of Idle Talk. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.